Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. I'm Dax Holt. Over there's Adam Glyn. It has been a busy weekend for us with Memorial Day weekend. I know Adam's been running around getting all kinds of interviews with celebs. I have not. I went to a water park. How was your weekend, buddy?
Weekend was good. My busy season is starting to slow down right now. Well, actually, it's done. However, the Tribeca Film Festival is coming up, so then it'll be kind of fun. I don't know how good it's going to be. It depends on what films are showing. There should be some decent amount of people here, maybe some fun or unique people. But the last few weeks, the last month has just been chaos and just insane. Good chaos. I did well enough. But yeah, I mean, it's starting to calm down for me. So it's I look forward to this summer. I get to chill. I get to relax. Hang out, go to the beach, do me. That's me. So I'm excited not to get that many people. Does that make sense?
I think good. I think that's what you want. But getting people equals getting money though too, right?
True. I have I got some other things I'm working on. So I don't want to talk about it until it's real. As you know, Dax, there's so many opportunities that happen in this company that in this business that you're so close. And I want to put it out there until it becomes more real because I want people to throw it back in my face if it doesn't land. So I'd rather focus on other things rather than trying to go after every single celebrity now. The last month I was essentially going after every single person I can, but now it's starting to quiet down. I look forward to the downtime because come September, it gets insane until mid-October, then slows down. So it goes I know how it works for me. It goes in seasons, and now it's my longest slow time. I mean, I'll still be going in to get a few people.
You don't want to give anyone a hint of what you could be doing on the side because last time I saw you were doing porn, but what else could you be doing?
Just feet stuff.
Okay,
well, let's say this, Dax. We'll talk about one opportunity. Let's talk about one opportunity that me and you, were approached about. That's why we didn't talk about it because again, there's things that happen and then they don't happen, and you don't want to bring it up and talk to. Yeah, I don't know, you don't want to. I don't want to put too much gas on it because they don't come. They don't. It doesn't. Not all things came about from it. So I will talk about something that you and we took a meeting. Can we talk about this?
I mean, I guess. If you ruin our chances again, then I'm going to be really mad at you.
I mean, I think it's done. I think at this point, I don't know if you talked to Pat, but they said, did you talk to him last week?
Yeah, he said no go.
Yeah. So Dax and I took a meeting to go on Below Deck. And
as guests, not as guests. Not as stewards or whatever.
Yeah, it was as guests, and we were approached. I was like, "Hey, man, it's gonna be a cool trip to." I forget where it was. I don't care where it was. It was somewhere, and I was like, "Dude, I'm in."
Same. I was like, "Let's do this shit."
You were more into it than I was because my biggest fear was I was all about the trip. I just don't really want to. I don't really care to be on reality TV. It's not really for me. But you were like, we're doing it. And you were the one who sold it on me. I was like, all right, because I don't really watch this show at all. So I'm not familiar with it. And I was like, I don't want to be.
We've had enough people on here from Below Deck. We've had Aisha on. We've had quite a few cast members from Below Deck. Malia's been on here. I feel like we know enough about Below Deck, and it just sounds like a fun opportunity to go and ride the waves and hang out for a couple days. It's not like we get to hang out a lot with each other. So I'm like, oh, this would be fun. We could record some podcasts on the boat. All of it just sounded really cool. But whatever, listen, it didn't work out. But never know. Maybe it'll work out down the road.
But it happened twice. They were like, hey, within a month, are you guys free this weekend in a month? I'm like, okay, cool. And actually it was supposed to be one of my busiest times. So for me, I'm like, well, I'm going to be putting away a lot of work where I could do pretty well financially, which helps out. So I'm going to be not. So
or get tan.
Or get tan. But I was built this whole thing up in my head. I canceled out all plans for that weekend and then it didn't happen. And then they actually said hey, maybe we might have you guys in the fall. We're like, okay, game. And then we find out last week, it's hey, no chance.
No chance. I will say I'm no stranger to this. There's been so many fun opportunities that have come into my life that have fallen between the cracks. So like for me, I'm like, all right, whatever. Like between that, I was supposed to do The Amazing Race. Do you remember?
I remember that.
With TMZ, I was supposed to do The Amazing Race with Max, and then that ended up falling through. I was supposed to be in the Veronica Mars movie. That fell through. I ended up on the cutting room floor. The Entourage movie ended up on the cutting room floor. So yeah, I'm used to letdowns.
It's so funny. Like I walked out of a meeting recently and it was all good things and it was like a huge meeting and people were like, oh, this is crazy. I'm like, I can't even let myself get excited because I've been let go I've been like let down so many times. Yeah. And it's in this industry, this is how it is.
I had
you almost want to talk about it with people, but you can't because it's just like I wish I could.
I had a really fun one. I had like my first show that I had picked up. It was me, Brian Austin Green. We had pitched a show to a production company, and it got picked up, and then COVID hit, and it ruined the show. I was just like, damn it. Like, this is my first big opportunity. They were going to produce the show. We were going to do all these interviews with celebs. Like, I had shot a bunch of episodes. Well, a pilot episode, and then a couple extra episodes that never aired. I was so excited. And then
I had a show with Kevin Hart. Hart. We made the deal and everything. I went out to lunch with Kevin at the Mandarin Oriental. Me and him sat at the table. It wasn't like a big deal, but we were going to do it like a streaming show. And I was like, dude, this is exciting. This is game changer for me. And COVID happened and it just like went quiet. Like it was just like, and just didn't hear anything. They're like, the world's changing. And that's really what happened. I mean, I had another thing with the Today Show. I mean, I've had so many of these close calls and I'm sure everyone has. And it's just, it hurts. At some point hurts. But I did have one success recently, Dax.
What's that?
I interviewed someone, if you want to call it an interview, but I talked to someone that I've never spoke with before, and someone you'd be so shocked who actually spoke to me back.
You've kind of talked to everyone, though.
I have, but not this person. In fact, I've gotten to not terrible. I've never gotten to fist fights, but like uncomfortable situations with this person.
Oh, okay. Now you got my interest. Woody Harrelson.
No, it's funny. Woody Harrelson, I know hates it. So he's like one of those
Anthony
guys
Mackie.
That guy sucks. No, Woody Harrelson's funny. I want him to see. He's like Leo. I want them to see me with the camera, not shooting them, and then be like, "Thank you." But who knows? I just want to smoke a joint with Woody Harrelson. I'll just say it. It's Alec Baldwin. I got Alec Baldwin.
Shut the fuck up. Alec Baldwin talked to you? No, listen, he didn't.
No, he didn't. 60 minutes, and it's not like anything groundbreaking by any means. I'm getting shit for it on social media.
No.
But you're the only person who appreciates it. Actually, our buddy Joe Andolaro, any paparazzi would appreciate of Alec Baldwin actually talking to me. And
did he spit on you at any point?
No, he has in the past, but not this time. Alec Baldwin was leaving an event.
What?
And he was leaving an event. And
I don't
think he was.
Did you have a camera up? Like, could he see your camera?
Yeah, camera was up.
And he talked to you.
And he talked to me. And I don't know, maybe he's so blind he couldn't see. I shouldn't say he's so blind, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know what happened this day, but he talked to me. And again, the questions I asked are nothing groundbreaking, but I said to him, Alec, I love your podcast.
How do I watch the video?
Oh, actually, that's better. Let's put the clip up.
Alec, your dream guest on the podcast. I love the podcast. Who would be your dream guest?
John Lennon.
I mean, that'd be pretty insane. That'd be good.
Somebody unattainable.
But who was the one you talked to? You didn't want the conversation to end. You just found
Carly Simon.
I
she
love
knew
that
more
one.
about music than anybody I've ever met in my life.
That was actually one of my favorites, sir. Seriously, I love the podcast, sir.
Listen, it wasn't like an amazing interview, but you got him to talk. You got Alec Baldwin to talk on camera and actually seemed like he enjoyed it, which I have never seen Alec Baldwin talk to a camera on the street and actually look like he enjoyed it.
It's pretty funny because you're right. Like, we've never seen anything like that before. And Yeah, listen, I wouldn't want to call it an interview, but you of all people would respect that. And I'm getting shit on social media because I put on my
Why?
TikTok and people are saying like, "Oh, great interview, great questions." I'm like, guys, if you only understand what kind of guy Alec Baldwin is when it comes to paparazzi,
The
you would
fact that
appreciate this.
the fact that he gave you 2 seconds of his life without punching you or spitting on you is a huge feat. I am very impressed right now.
Is it like I knew I remember, so I knew you'd be thank you, because I knew you'd appreciate it. Other people like, really, you're getting excited about this? You don't understand. This guy hates a camera.
Hates cameras.
He does not like cameras.
Like, he comes out of his house in New York, sees a camera, and instantly is in a bad mood and like will snarl at you, like push you, shove you, spit on you. Like, he does not like cameras. So the fact that it was probably because you baited him with the podcast, though. Like, you baited him with his own podcast.
I've never listened to it. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, let's be real. I
love your podcast, bro. Love it.
Love it. Yeah, of course I'm bullshit. I've never listened to the podcast. I couldn't even tell. I don't know if it's on NPR or whatever it is. But I heard it's good. But I've never listened to it. But you got to do what you got to do. And I was just trying to see what I could get. Like, I was just, yes, I baited him, but I was also trying to see what he could get. I'm probably ruining myself because he'll probably see this and say, I'm never talking to this asshole again. But it was more like, just like, okay, let me see if I can break the ice. And yeah, I got a bunch of people this week. I mean, I got Charles Barkley. I saw, so all good things. Did you wait? Do you want to read a review?
Yeah, let's read a review. Listen,
review. Okay.
And I will preface this by saying the new recording software that we're using, it's not as easy for me to like post the review as I used to do. So bear with me if it looks totally terrible on YouTube, but I'm gonna go for it. So here we go. Let me get it up. Let's see. This one comes from JJ Gelid, maybe is what the name is. It says, funny. Only 4 stars, however. It says, funny how Adam always tries to sound like he has the inside scoop with all these celebrities who cannot be named. He definitely tries to toot his own horn.
True.
Sorry, Adam.
I mean, no, listen, I get it. They're not wrong. Listen, I will say names when I can. A lot of times I can't because you understand. I mean, Dax, you understand this, and I'll tell people at home. I do a lot of stories. Major stories in the industry I break, but most of the time I don't. Actually, pretty much 99% of the time, I don't have my name attached to the story because you don't want to ruin relationships. In fact, because I don't want to get the person who maybe my source, I don't want to get my source in trouble because they know me. So it's like a whole thing. I don't want to be connected to it at all for personal issues, also for legal issues. It's just not worth me being involved in some sort. So I'm sure I kind of piss people off a lot of times. However, this is how I fucking pay the bills. And when I can say a name, I will. And after the story's over, I will definitely say as much as I can. But also, this is what makes me valuable what I do. But yeah, I work. For me, I do work for a bunch of different media outlets, major websites, break stories. But I don't put my name to the story because, again, I can't have it come back to me. Yeah. I mean, and I'm tooting my own horn 100% because I'm fucking the man at this shit. Honestly, listen, I play basketball. Am I the best basketball player ever? No, but I'm okay. But when it comes to this shit, I'm like, I feel good that, like, it's funny. I was talking to someone who's starting a new entertainment site, and they asked me who I think are the top, like, 5 people out there as far as, like, gossip reporters. And I put myself in that. I'm not trying to be narcissistic. I'm like, and it's not like I feel proud of that. It's just that shit falls on my lap because I'm out in the streets. I don't work in an office, and I'm usually working a lot, so I'm able to see things firsthand. And I have good contacts. I have good sources, so I put myself in there, and they agree. And you know that because Dax, you know how valuable I am. And the surprising part to me is how one major media outlet has not kind of approached me and say, "Hey, you should come work for our team," like solely.
No,
However,
you break so many stories. It's unbelievable. Like, I really am shocked that no one has swooped you up in regards to getting you on their team because of how much you break, that is like invaluable to a lot of these outlets that are dying right now and are not being able to break those stories in the news and all of that.
Well, actually, I mean, yeah, I appreciate that, but it's like for me, these outlets don't have money anymore. They can't really afford a guy like me. It's not worth, I know the value of these stories. So I make, for me financially, like it's better for me to kind of work sort of like independently rather than work for a site exclusively because they just they don't have the money anymore. It's crazy how much these people are like cutting costs where it's like borderline bank. It's like borderline gone pretty much. It's insane. If people knew the infrastructures of the biggest TV shows or not TV websites that they follow, they'd be like, oh my God, this is like a skeleton crew. And it's like stuff, you see the word exclusive a lot, but it's not. It's like the same thing regurgitated. In fact, I saw a story recently that TMZ broke it. I didn't break the story, but it was Pete Davidson moves in with his girlfriend. And then People Magazine does the same story, exclusive. Pete Davidson and his girlfriend are very happy. Hours later, I'm like, yeah, of course they're very happy. They're moving in together, you dummy. Like this is not real journalism when it comes to gossip reporting. So, but yeah, thank you for the review at the end of the day. I appreciate it. And this is me just talking shit, but Dax and I just BSing with each other.
Okay, we'll talk about BSing. Did you see the new MGK music video?
I'm a fan.
What in the fucking boy band was that music video? It's for his new song called Cliche.
Yeah.
Listen, the song I feel like was actually pretty decent. Not a hater of the song. The music video, I'm like, what just happened? Like if you played this on mute, you would think it was the Backstreet Boys. Am I not wrong?
Yes.
Like all the dance numbers, the like super cheesy stuff. Like I'm assuming he's doing it on purpose for idiots like me to be like, what the hell is happening? And it's like, now it's a talking point. But what was that?
Yeah, listen, I get it. And I want to, I want to like not, or I want to dislike MGK because like I can never pull off the stuff he does. With that said, he always wins me over. And I gotta be honest with you, the video is kind of dope. The song is great. The video's fun. The little dance he does with it is actually kind of cool. It's got like a little swag with it. He's got
you think he's
good
doing that
style that I can never pull off. Like
I think he's doing the dance is probably to tap into the TikTok audience because the second you get a video to go viral with some dance, and that's what makes a song now start to chart. The whole thing, it's like it works, and especially if it's like a cheesy dance that people can actually do. I did think the casting has to be hard because there was like a girl in this or a woman in this that's dancing with him. That I'm like, how do you cast anyone when he's been linked to Megan Fox? Like, there's no one hotter than Megan Fox. So, like, how do you even cast someone?
She just had a baby, so for like, of course, you would think he would put like Megan in the video, but she probably doesn't.
Well, no, you can't do her,
camera. And they're not even together anymore. I'm just saying, apparently, so
you got to get someone that is like Megan Fox level, don't you?
Yes, but this girl, and again, I just didn't do my homework.
I'm not saying she's ugly. I'm just it's very hard to be on Megan Fox level. That is a hard level to achieve by any standard.
Yeah, the girl who's in the video, she must be someone though. I don't know who she is, and I'm sure someone in the chat's gonna be like, "Hey, you don't know who that is?" She's got to be some sort of adult film star because I'm like, I just don't know who she is, but someone else must know who she is. She must be some sort of celebrity or again, porn star. I don't know. I don't mean that disrespectfully.
I'm reading all the comments. It's like, bro, really is the secret member of NSYNC with all this dancing.
Dude, it's a good. The only thing that bothers me is the jeans he wears because they're wet on the bottom, and even like he wears the same jeans in another part of the video where it's not wet and they're still wet at the bottom. So that part bothers me. But you know what? Like, I can never pull off his style, but I respect it. And you want to dislike him because that's not my style. But his last few albums, his last few songs, it's like, boom, boom, boom. Like, dude, these things are dope. Like, I don't know. Like,
I do like when people can switch their personas so often. You know what I'm saying? Like, he does that. He is someone, that every time he comes out, it's like a different version of himself. Miley Cyrus is the same way. And it keeps them interesting. It keeps people talking about him because every time they come out, you're like, oh, what are we going to get this time? He is one of those people. I will say, the song is good. The music video to me is just weird, but whatever.
I hated his interview on the Howard Stern show. And this is random. This is an old interview. And he was like by himself. He talked really low and just like this. I was like, dude, you're not Bob Dylan. Like, just have a normal conversation. But again, he puts out hits, and I can't really deny it. Like, it's like, yeah, these are solid stuff, like solid songs.
Would you go see him in concert?
I have. I saw him at the Super Bowl.
But would you pay to see him?
No, dude, I'm so desperate to go to the Sphere and see a concert. I don't know, like, every time there is a concert there, this past weekend, Kenny Chesney was there. And I'm not a huge Kenny Chesney fan. I wouldn't even say I'm almost like, I just don't know much of his songs, but I love the vibe. But after seeing that, I'm like, oh my God, I have to go to a Kenny Chesney concert there. I need to see Dead & Co. at the Sphere. The artwork, everything that goes about. I'm like, it's worth a flight to Vegas for me from the East Coast just to see a concert at the Sphere at this point. Like, it's just, it looks so incredible. I don't know if you see
the Sphere, if your
algorithm kind of has that.
They're so expensive. Those tickets are so, like, even to see a movie there is like
$250. Yeah, it's insane.
It's like dumb.
But I saw tickets for Dead & Co. You can get some cheaper seats. They're not crazy. It's not cheap, but it's on the cheap. It's not as expensive as you think. But I don't think it's in the best spot to experience the Sphere. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people say. It's like you need to be in this one spot to experience it. But from what it looks like to me, I can't see a bad seat in the place. Like, it's just, it looks incredible.
I have a hard time spending that much money on a concert or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of money. Unless you're up front row for $500, it's like,
to me, it just seems like more of like not just a concert, but an experience. And someone like the Dead & Co., like, I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to see them ever again. It's like more of like a cultural thing. I'm like, okay, I would pay total Vegas flight, everything, $1,000 to go see a show like that. And the thing is, at this point now, I think I might have an in at the Sphere where I could maybe get a free ticket, maybe for two. And
there's a couple people that I would love to see in concert. Again, I'm just too cheap to like actually pay the money, but before they stop touring, and I think like Dead & Co. would be a good one. I think Rolling Stones. I think Elton John. I think Madonna. Like, there's certain people that I feel like you should just see, just to be like, I saw them live, because they are cultural phenomenons, some of the biggest icons in the world, that to see them live, there's something really cool about that. Probably won't see any of them, but I think it would be cool.
No, I'm with you. But I think when it came to like the ultimate ticket, I mean, I wouldn't pay more, but the Sphere is just, I got to see Dead & Co. there. That would be my thing. Dax, did you see J-Lo at the AMAs? She did.
Dude.
She kissed what was up?
J-Lo kissed everyone at the AMAs. Like, what was going on? She was hosting the AMAs, and it was like they did this whole medley where she kisses one dancer, and then turns to kiss another dancer, then turns to kiss another dancer. Like, she's literally making out with half the dancers on the stage. And so I would, in those kinds of moments, I run to X, because I'm like, oh, I gotta read what people are saying, because I can't be the only one being like, what is J-Lo doing? And the comments about her hosting the AMAs and the performance was like, what is she doing? That I think it left most people cringing. Like, it wasn't this Madonna Britney moment where it's now talked about and became this iconic moment. It's like, what is she doing? Why is she trying so hard? Is it because none of the other big celebrities showed up to the AMAs, so she had to like go over the top to get everyone to talk about it? I don't know. It was fairly weird though. Like, why did she kiss everyone? I don't get it.
Well, obviously, like you said, you knew that people were going to talk about it the next day. I mean, obviously, we're talking about it. With that, it also just feels so forced, because we just know that's not what Jennifer Lopez does. And it's
right? like just dry hump a face, then we'll all talk about it. That's what we want to see.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many other things you could do, but like, oh my God, you kissed a girl. Like, it just, that's not that's not your page. Like, I could see Miley Cyrus maybe doing something like that because sometimes she does things outlandish. But this to me is like you're just forcing us down your throat, and you knew that this would make news, and I don't want you to do that. Like, it's cringe to me at the end of the day. I get it. But it's not my
you're
fault.
not alone. There was a lot of people cringing over this. I still do think it was pretty awesome. She was like performing all kinds of people's hits. She did Billie Eilish. She did she literally was just like going from hit to hit to hit, which was that part I think is fun. I like seeing when they can kind of branch off. She did Beyonce's Texas Hold'em, Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso. So she was like bouncing around. That part I like. But that part also doesn't bring news because Kelly Clarkson does that every show that she does, right? Like that has kind of been overdone at this point.
But to me, it's like this. Like, cool is, I'm not saying J-Lo's not cool, but like cool is something that oozes out of you. And it's like, it's not something you could teach. And like MGK to me is cool.
It's hard to stay relevant in this industry. And I got to imagine they probably get tired of trying to think of little gimmicks and things to do at all these award shows to get people to talk about their performance the next day. It's got to be exhausting. Like, think that that any big performance, they sit down around a table and they're like, okay, what are we going to do to generate buzz, to get people to either buy the music, to talk about this moment tomorrow, whatever it is. They sit down and they're like, okay, how about J-Lo? We want you to kiss one of your female dancers. Great. Then we want you to turn around and kiss one of the male dancers. Then we want you to go back and kiss the female dancer. Then we want you to kiss another dancer while they're laying on the ground. Everyone's going to be talking about this tomorrow. It's going to be the biggest thing in Hollywood. J-Lo has an orgy Diddy style all over the AMA stage.
They just a freak off on the stage.
Everything minus the baby oil all over the AMA stage.
That's we want to get people talking, use baby oil on stage. And like, then that's like, whoa, she did that.
Considering she dated Diddy, that would have been a good wraparound right there.
Would be interesting if J-Lo did an interview, like a really in-depth interview about her relationship with Diddy. You want to make news, you want to be relevant, do an in-depth interview about your relationship with Diddy and what was it like for you. Has she ever done that? I don't know, but
no,
that's the thing.
That is the last thing she's gonna want to do. She's gonna stay the hell away from anything Diddy for sure.
But to me, you really want to shake things up and actually get people on your side. Talk about that stage in your life when you dated Diddy. What was it like? And it's not like Diddy has a microphone. Like, what's going to do for you? I don't think people would hate you for it. I think people would rather be just you honest and just know about it.
What good would that bring her? It would bring her no good to connect herself to this case at this time. Like, no good. I think she is very happy that more people aren't connecting her to all of this because she dated
I'm
Diddy.
Sure. Oh, 100%. I mean, I think that's her biggest fear is people are like going to connect her to Diddy and think that she was involved with those kind of shenanigans when she dated Diddy, which I guess we don't know. Or he wasn't that type of guy at that time. But
we did it. Jennifer Lopez had a freak off on stage at the AMAs. See, now we did it. We've connected them.
That's the headline. I told Garrett, who hosted the Raw Rundown with me last week because you were gone, I said I've never seen a Mission Impossible movie. However, I sort of want to see this new Mission Impossible movie. Are you one of these people who wants to see this movie, or you have no interest? You don't.
Oh, dude, I love Mission Impossible movies. Sign me up. I love.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I am dead serious. I love. Okay. And I've told you this. My love for Tom Cruise as an actor. I love him. I see all of his movies. I think he's phenomenal. Total freak show off when he's not on set. But I love him when he is on the big screen. I have to see all of his movies. I love him.
I was surprised the Mission Impossible was not the number one movie in the box office this past weekend. It was that
when
Disney's
you're going
Lilo
up against
Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch, no chance, bro. Like a child Disney movie on a long holiday weekend, you're going to get blown out of the water. And I think that they actually acted like they were surprised. Like, oh, wow, Lilo and Stitch beat Mission Impossible? No freaking kidding. Oh, that always happens. Because when you go to see Mission Impossible, you're buying maybe 1 or 2 tickets if it's rated R. If you're going to a Disney movie, you're buying like 4, 5 tickets, depending on how big your family is. So of course you're going to bring in a lot more money. It's like a no-brainer there. I think that they thought they were going to make more money because it wasn't a very exciting box office for Mission Impossible.
It wasn't,
I think they brought in like $77 million domestically, and I think it was like 145 international, which is not a lot of money for such a big box office movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much that movie cost to make, especially with the marketing behind it. I have to imagine it was more with the marketing dollar behind it. But I I don't know what they expect, what the expectations are from. But I still want to see the movie. And it's funny, like you watch Tom Cruise during these interviews, and I got to be honest with you, like as much as I like. Is Tom crazy? Yes, he's crazy, but he almost is a genius the way he talks about movies. Mm-hmm. And he's just so fascinating. Like the way he eats popcorn. Did you see the memes of him eating popcorn? The way he throws it in his mouth? I'm like, dude, that's hysterical. And then all of a sudden they call him on stage, and there's a guy who's eating popcorn in the first row, and he's almost done with his popcorn. Right before he takes his last step, he goes, you're almost done with your popcorn, huh? And then it's like, it's just so funny to me. I don't know if it's cringe funny or just like
he's so bizarre. He is like,
but
honestly,
is he bizarre or are we just like fascinated by him? I can't explain it.
I think he's bizarre. He's a strange dude, and I don't know if it's just because of the Scientology stuff that makes him seem bizarre. I think between that, like ditching Surrey Cruise, I mean, there's so many things that I'm like, I don't get him as an individual. But goddamn, he's a good actor, and like, but why do we give him a pass for being like a kind of a weird person or a shitty dad? Like, I don't know. I literally don't
know why
know.
He does get a pass. I don't understand why he gets a pass and some people don't. I understand. I mean, listen. Somehow he's able to have these studios say, "Hey, if you want to interview him, like you need to send a headshot and a bio about him." And hey, that's a story that I broke that was in the paper.
By the way,
my name wasn't attached to it, but that was my story.
That story, I think, is so good and so underrated. So for the people that aren't in our private Facebook group, or did you already talk about this on the rundown last week?
Yes, but you could briefly touch it again.
So for the people that didn't hear the story, but basically in this new Mission Impossible premiere, Tom Cruise actually had all the reporters, whoever wanted to interview him, they had to submit a bio and a headshot of themselves. Guys, I can't tell you how weird that is. That has never happened on all the red carpets I've ever covered. Any interviews, I've never had to submit a bio or a headshot. That's not normal. But Tom Cruise is so powerful, so famous, that he can demand that, and people will automatically be like, yep, here you go. What else do you need? That shows his star power, and he can pick and choose whether or not he's going to do the interview with you based on what you've submitted, which I think is wild. Never heard anything like that before in Hollywood.
Yes, that's a wild thing to happen in Hollywood. And it was funny when I did that story, some studios thought that was too inside baseball. So they didn't want to run the story.
No
like,
chance.
This is an
I think it's a great story.
Yeah. So again, back to you, like why you might think he's crazy. Now, is Scientology obviously has a stigma behind it. Now, I don't know what I don't really have. I know I'm scared about Scientology based on what I've read, but I don't know anybody in my circle that is a Scientologist. But it is a controversial religion that many people find to be a lot of skepticism, and it can also be very scary because you lose. I don't want to get into the Scientology. I don't want to get into Scientology, but because he's affiliated with Scientology.
Wow, you were really scared of Scientology, dude.
Yeah, dude, you saw the Leah Remini documentary when they came after her. She had people following her, like I saw the documentaries where they scare you. They just scare people. I've heard people that were bothering them. This is just a story that I've heard from my friends out in West. There are streamers for a little bit that would stand outside on Hollywood Boulevard. There is the Scientology Center where people could go and learn about the religion. So these streamers were going outside and live streaming every day of like heckling the Scientologists, but also the people that were trying to go in. And then what happened was those people that were streaming, they got their accounts demonetized. They got kicked off social media. I don't know how or what they did, or it's like there's all mysteries behind it. I don't know what happened.
And then they wound up dead in a gutter.
Maybe so.
Okay,
Again,
that part didn't happen.
I'm scared.
But...
I don't know. I'm scared. Anyway, so back to Tom Cruise. You know, you might think he's weird when he jumped on Oprah's couch, which is a viral, like that was a great clip. But was that really weird, or was just like for us we're like cringe? But it was like, you know, he was.
I think
the
it
guy
was
in
cringe,
love.
but I think I gave him the pass on that one. It was wild behavior. I gave him the pass because he was in love, or set up in love, or whatever the hell this Katie Holmes thing was back in the day.
I've heard stories about him on set going like crazy on people, but it's because he's so like hyper focused and intense that like, you know, I guess he wants everything. He's a perfectionist.
He's a perfectionist. Yeah.
And I get it.
I mean, you've seen him do
he
all
loves movies.
the...
He loves film.
Yeah. He loves
when he talks about movies on the red carpet, it's
yeah.
like, it's crazy.
Well, because he looks at it as much more of a form of art than it is acting or anything. Like, he literally truly likes the art form of cinema. And I think that's why he does his own stunts. You know what came across my feed the other day? When he was doing the Mission Impossible stunt and broke his ankle. Have you ever seen that video?
And he followed, and he didn't complain. He just kept doing it. He followed.
Yeah, he
like
the scene,
right?
jumped from one building to the other, and like you see his ankle just like snap. But yeah, he's true perfectionist. Did you see the Tom Cruise interview where the red carpet interviewer asked him about Father's Day?
Which, by the way, fun, unique question, because
but
like, how are you
Tom
supposed
Cruise,
to answer that?
You know,
I'm surprised she was able to ask that question on the red carpet.
I am shocked because you know
and they
all of those.
Too.
You know all of those questions that any interviewer is going to ask Tom Cruise probably has to be vetted. They have to be approved. You're not asking rogue questions to Tom Cruise. Trust me, he has it way too scripted and ready to go. He does not like surprises. So I was shocked that there was an reporter on the red carpet for the new Mission Impossible movie. She asked all these fun questions about the movie and doing stunts and this and that. The last question is, one more thing. What is your ideal perfect Father's Day? And you see his face go, like digest the question and then go, oh, you know, just having fun, you know, making movies. And then he like walks off. And I'm thinking, any other person, any other actor would have been like, oh yeah, like we're going to have fun, have the kids over, we're going to go to the movie, whatever the hell it is. Tom Cruise, you know that the only thing people are thinking about is Suri Cruise. No one's thinking about Connor and Isabella. They are thinking Suri Cruise, Suri Cruise, Suri Cruise. That's why they asked the question. And they tried to wrap it innocently, but I bet you she gets in trouble for asking that question. I bet E gets in trouble for asking that question.
Well, I mean, do they get in trouble? Because at the end of the day, the studio does need E, and E clipped that piece. They clipped that because they knew that was going to make news. His answer, the question, everything around that. They knew that was going to be.
Well, not only did they clip it, it says, like, there's 7 questions in there. But the headline is Tom Cruise reveals his ideal plans for Father's Day. I mean, they went for it. They risked it all. They're like, whatever.
Well, they don't even mention like the stories. Actually, if you read like some of the articles, they don't really go into in depth about like, hey, what's his relationship with his kids, because he doesn't. Well, I should say he doesn't have a relationship. He has the kids with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, Connor and Isabella, because they're still in Scientology, so there is that connection there. But with Suri, she's not in Scientology.
He has a kid. Hold on. So that kid that he has with Nicole Kidman, correct?
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman is still the mom.
Yes.
So do we ever see Nicole Kidman with those kids?
No, but she has. I think that was kind of a thing a long time ago that they chose Scientology. She was out of Scientology, so it's kind of like the reverse with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they distance her. Mom's not in there, so we don't have a relationship with mom because she's not a Scientologist. Pretty gnarly. And then obviously we know about Suri. Suri was born in 2006 again. Remember?
It is a good fact of like, hey, I guess it's when the children choose to distance themselves. That's a different situation than a parent choosing not to be in the relationship. Okay, I was going to say, I'm wondering why Nicole Kidman gets a pass, but I kind of answered my own question there. It's if your children choose they don't want to be in your life because of religion, that's their choice. Whereas Suri, it wasn't her choice not to have her dad in the picture.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Which, when is Suri going to be able to do an interview? Did Suri sign an NDA? I mean, or she's just like, listen, do not ever talk about dad, and you'll never have to work a day in your life.
Probably.
I mean, she's got to know who her dad is, right? I mean,
what do you mean?
Yeah,
what are you talking about? She's not under a rock. Everyone knows that her dad is Tom
I would
Cruise.
Just be surprised. You know what's so screwed up? And I would not be the guy because it's just too mean. But I'm surprised a paparazzi, because they're all desperate for money, has not put a camera on Suri because she's not a kid anymore.
I'm telling you, her mom has trained her. Do not even answer. Don't get involved with it. I'm sure Katie knows what to do, and I'm sure Katie's probably been asked all the questions, and she's probably prepped Suri and said, "Look, you're 18. You're now kind of fair game when you're walking down the street. People can now ask you questions. You're not a minor anymore. Someone can come up to you and say, hey, what are you doing for Father's Day?" You know what I'm saying? Like, people could do a shitty move like that, and I'm sure Katie has prepped her for the inevitable.
Okay.
Katie's a good mom. I will give her that. Katie Holmes is a fantastic mom. She's been very protective over Suri. I've only heard amazing stories about Katie Holmes in regards to her relationship with her daughter. So I'm sure this is part of the upbringing of Suri Cruise.
Yeah, no, sir. I actually don't think Katie Holmes gets enough credit for what she's done with, what she's dealt with,
and that's the things that we don't even like. Those are things we think we know, and I'm sure that there's so many layers upon layers and upon layers of things that we don't know behind the scenes with her and Tom and Scientology and their marriage and their divorce and all of it. And she has kept her mouth closed, which is also pretty amazing. Even if there's a big paycheck, it's still hard to keep it all to yourself.
100%. And again, also, like, her being with Tom affected her career. Like, I like that.
It killed her career.
Yeah, I mean, she still works, but she doesn't really work.
No, dude, like she was on the track to become one of the biggest actresses on the planet. If you remember back after Dawson's Creek, she literally had the trajectory to become one of the biggest actresses. She was in the Batman movie, and it was like her star was starting to go up. She got with Tom, it derailed, and I think partly because he couldn't be with someone that was even on the same level as him acting wise, right? Like, that just couldn't happen. And so I think her career took the back seat so that he could remain the big star. But then after their divorce, it was like she missed that moment.
Yeah. Dax, there was a movie I saw, that Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin movie. I don't know if you saw it. It's on Hulu, I think, now, where they go to Poland. It's like about the Holocaust. And Jesse Eisenberg wrote the movie. Did you see this movie? Kieran Culkin won the Oscar. Mm-hmm. It came out like...
I know what you're talking about. And then what is the name of that movie?
Look up the movie.
People are going to be already like yelling at us for not knowing the name of this.
So, but I saw an interview with Eric Andre this week. And Eric Andre was asked to do the role of Kieran Culkin.
A Real Pain.
What's it called?
A Real Pain.
A Real Pain. And again, Kieran Culkin won an Oscar for that movie. And I just saw an interview this past week of Eric Andre saying he turned down that role for that movie.
Oh, really?
Which Kieran Culkin won the Oscar.
God, can you imagine having a movie that did so well and knowing that you passed on it, or either you passed on it or you just didn't land it, but then you saw someone else end up either becoming a bazillionaire off of it or gaining an Oscar off of it, or something that completely changed their life. Like, I remember the one that always comes to my mind is Will Smith. He declined the role of Neo in The Matrix. That one to me always stands out. I don't know why. I think just because when I think of The Matrix and how big that movie got and how, you know, Keanu Reeves is already a massive star, but I feel like that one put him into the stratosphere when it comes to acting, and the amount of money he probably made off that. I got to think Will Smith still kicks himself to this day because he ended up choosing to do like the Wild Wild West instead, which was a giant flopperoonie. So like, whoops.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I don't think Will Smith would have been good. The movie would have been as good if Will Smith did that role.
No, that's just because you can.
Again, I never saw The Matrix.
You could, but that's
I never saw The Matrix.
You can only picture. I know. I don't even want to get into that because it just annoys me. But I think it's because we can picture Keanu as Neo. But I'm sure if Will would have come in and been Neo in The Matrix, then our brains would have been rewired and he would have been Neo. But, you know, Keanu he did such a good job in that role that you can't picture anyone else being in that role.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing with the only person movie that I think could have been totally different is Forrest Gump with John Travolta. And John Travolta was offered the role. He declined the role to play Forrest Gump, which Tom Hanks took. And Tom Hanks, like, obviously did an incredible job as Forrest Gump in one of my favorite movies. Like, unbelievable movie. But I don't think that movie would have been as good if John Travolta did it. I mean, it's just Tom Hanks.
Tom is perfect for that role, and I think the casting was great. Yeah, I don't know if that one would have turned out as good. I think the other one for me is, people may not remember, but Tom Cruise was initially in talks to play Iron Man. This was before Robert Downey Jr. landed the role. It was Tom Cruise who was talking to them about potentially being that Iron Man role. And I'm thinking, that would have been a weird career change. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is that action star, but then moves into like the comic book character, action hero character. That would have been strange. And if you remember, Iron Man really brought Robert Downey Jr. back to life in regards to his acting.
It was a tough role because
he had been cast out.
No one wanted to work with him again. He couldn't get insurance.
He is as big of a star as he is because of Iron Man. And that could have not been possible if Tom Cruise would have continued down negotiation road to play Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm surprised Tom Cruise hasn't been part of a comic book series yet, because I feel like every single big name has, from Scarlett Johansson to, obviously, I mean, everyone has, and people fight for those roles. I mean, that's not just like big actors who want, like,
I was going to say the biggest stars in the world.
Anne Hathaway, I'm surprised is not in that type of thing, but she
is.
you know,
she did Catwoman. No.
Oh, she did play Catwoman, you're right. Oh my God, I forgot about it. She wasn't. Do we talk about that as Catwoman? Is that like are people pissed that she played Catwoman, or how does like that?
So why? No,
I don't know. But people like Chris Pratt, for example, like, people fight to be in those movies now. I mean, they will do whatever they have to do just for the audition.
Because people like Robert Downey Jr. made it cool. Like, Marvel made acting in a comic book style movie cool again. Like, that wasn't the cool thing that the big actors were going to take on. If you had an Oscar, you weren't going to play this action role, and then now everyone is doing it, and it doesn't hurt your career like it used to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have Scarlett Johansson, you can have, you know, I'm trying to think of course my brain is like fried right now, but Ben Affleck, who's got an Oscar playing Batman. Like, people can do it, and it doesn't define their career anymore.
Well, you're 100% right, because you could do those movies where you could become insanely rich, especially if you get in a good franchise. You could just keep doing those franchises, and also on the side do your artsy real pieces that you want to do, where they might not pay as much money, but you still have jobs that bring in a lot of money. But it's always funny to me, like, when there's some people who also like lose those roles. Like, Edward Norton was the Hulk, and then it went to Mark Ruffalo. Apparently, Norton just didn't get along with the people at Marvel, so they had he had creative control. He wanted more creative control. Their script changes. So Marvel's like, screw it, we're just gonna go to Mark Ruffalo
because
he's easy to work with.
I have one for you that I learned about recently that I don't think I had heard. Did you know who could have landed the role of Rose in the Titanic before Kate Winslet? I always thought this was so, like, when I heard it, I was like, oh, that's fascinating. I got to tell Adam.
I'm going to have a guess.
Okay.
And I'm only have this guess because it's that time.
Okay.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Shut up! You had already heard it.
No, I didn't. No,
did you already know?
No,
yeah,
no.
Gwyneth Paltrow was up for the role of Rose in Titanic. They were in serious talks. She potentially could have been Rose, and you remember, Kate Winslet went on to get the Oscar nomination. She didn't win, right? I don't think she won that year.
I don't even know. I'm just more surprised I got that right because I was like, damn, that was pretty good.
No, she didn't. She didn't win. Oh, she did. No, she. I gotta look this up. I don't think she got the Oscar that year. She got it for.
But here's the thing: is even though Kate Winslet was great in that, I actually think Gwyneth Paltrow also could have done a great job as Rose. For some reason, even though that was like Kate Winslet's breakout thing.
The Reader is what Kate got it for. Okay, she got the nomination, and I was always shocked that Leo didn't get a nomination. She did, but he did not.
That's a tough one. That's got to make things a little uncomfortable. Like everyone in the production of the movie been like, hey, I can't believe they got one, they didn't. I mean, how do you not give one to Leo? How do you not give one?
I don't know how that guy never got an Oscar for like 20 years of some of the most amazing acting I've ever seen in Hollywood.
Yeah,
it took him all the way to the Reverend to get an Oscar. Like, makes no sense.
Yeah, there might have been some personal kind of anger at somebody in the studio because there's no way. Like, he's been fucked over a lot as far as... I don't think he gets the respect as an actor he deserves.
What are you talking about? Yes, he does. He's one of the most talented, respected actors in Hollywood.
But it's always like... There's not really that much range with Leo as an actor.
Oh, God. And on today's episode of Crazy Talk with Adam, he starts talking about how somehow... Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't have a range. Get the hell out of here.
I don't even know what that means.
He literally is like my favorite actor on the planet.
He's mine too because he picks great roles. Wolf of Wall Street was great. I even liked The Great Gatsby, which people don't even talk about enough. I'm like, I actually really like that
everything
movie.
He does is good, dude. Like everything he does is good.
He picks good roles, but like, does he have range like Tom Hanks? I mean, you could say that. What he played Gilbert Grape. Like, in what you're saying, he can't play Forrest Gump, two fucking dummies. But that's messed up. But yeah, I'm curious what kind of actor Leo becomes in 15 years.
Probably just as good as he is now. Amazing.
He's a great actor, but it's also
I'm leaving. We're done here.
I pissed you off that much?
I can't believe
I just gotta be someone else who believes
on Leonardo DiCaprio right now.
I'm not talking shit about him.
You are.
I guess it does. I guess I am talking shit. But listen, I'm a fan of him. But when I think of like the best actors out there, like I don't see him like a Robert Downey. I think Robert Downey Jr. is an incredible actor.
Thanks for listening, you guys. Feel free to follow us on social media. Feel free to continue this conversation in our private Facebook group called Off the Record, where you can send personal memes and hatred letters directly to Adam.
Oh God!
Because that's where I'm gonna take my grievances to our Facebook group, bitch.
Who's a better actor, Tom Cruise or Leo DiCaprio?
Leo.
Okay.
If you're gonna say who's a better action star, I would say Tom Cruise, but a better actor, Leo.
Yeah, but Tom Cruise just hasn't done any real roles in the last 15 years.
Now you're shitting on Tom Cruise too? My God. Like literally after I tell you I love Tom Cruise in every movie he does, and then you sit there and you gotta shit talk him too.
He just doesn't do enough these days. That's the problem.
God. You gotta start talking crap on Pink's music while you're at it.
Follow us. Follow our private Facebook, Off the Record. Follow me at Adam Glyn. Follow Dax Holt at Dax Holt. See you guys next week.
Bye.
What's up, guys? If you liked that video, there's plenty more where that came from.
Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so we can just feed you all the goodness daily.
Hurry up. Come on, let's go.